All right, well, everybody, we're here with the Virginia at Work and Cortex Leadership Consulting podcast. I believe, Linda, did you call it a Corecast?
A Corecast.
Absolutely. And of course, Linda McNutt Foster with Cortex Leadership Consulting. Why we call it a Corecast.
Exactly.
And then also with me, Dr. Jennifer Walker, the owner of Balance Well Space. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Hello.
Our topic, addicted to work. I had no idea Americans were so addicted to work as we are. And Linda, very first question is just that. What kind of research have you found on this topic? Because it's fairly amazing.
It was. It's sort of, I train a lot of leaders and executives. So, I mean, we don't take a lot of time off, and I know that. But it was kind of amazing how much American culture has turned to this. So more than 56% of Americans haven't taken a vacation in the last year. Now, 25% of Americans don't get paid time off, right? But when you think about the part that half of us haven't even taken the time off that we have, why is that? And, you know, it's things like we have a fear of returning to a mountain of work. There's certain structures that are happening right now. Like in certain companies, you get one block of PTO time, which is paid time off, and you can't, they don't know how to manage that. If you say, oh, I get 3 weeks off, what if I get sick? I got to hold time off for that. So they may have a belief that no one else can do their job the way that they can do. They have, a great dedication to their companies. I think there's a great loyalty with a lot of employees.
Which is good.
I feel like, yeah, it's excellent.
Until you have no balance in your own life.
Yeah.
How to balance the dedication.
Yeah, until it affects your well-being. Right.
And let's get to that. Jennifer, your story was interesting to me that when you started a business up in the Cape Cod area, after 1 year you sold it. Talk about why.
It was a couple years into business, but really what it came down to is I was so worried about building my business that I stopped taking care of myself and didn't take any time off. And after a year of, not such great weather up there and combined with just not taking that time off, I actually ended up selling the practice at the end of the year. So it was a big eye-opener for me of the importance of maintaining that balance, which is what we talked about, why I named my practice Balance.
And tell people what your practice is, Balance Well Space.
Balance Well Space is a comprehensive wellness center. We have chiropractic, day spa, and fitness services.
So this is not only a good topic because you understand it personally, but this is what you do for a living, basically.
Absolutely.
What have you found when it comes to performance, engagement, morale, all those things, when people are not balanced, when they are so addicted to work, either yourself or your employees? What happens to the community you have at your work?
Well, I think that it's kind of like an athlete. If you look at an athlete who is training year-round for a specific sport and not diversifying their workouts and really just focusing on that year-round, they end up with injuries a lot of times. And it's the same thing with people. If you're working really hard and you're not taking those necessary breaks, your bodies eventually do break down.
And brain health, well-being, does it actually affect emotional when you talk about brain health?
Absolutely. When you have chronic levels of stress, those are typically the people that don't take those times away. And when you have chronic levels of stress, that leads to things like mental fogginess, memory issues, and even heightened anxiety.
And I think a lot of people might be listening to us right now as they're heading into work for their however many day in a row, if they haven't taken any vacation. Maybe you're lucky enough to be out on the Greenway taking a walk. But we want to leave you with a thought on all of this, which is, are you seeing in your practice, Jennifer, or other people out at work, what the effects are of this nonstop working? Think about that, how it's affecting you. Jennifer, we'll talk a little bit about how you've seen it in your own place, and we'll go from there.